afternoon, a very warm welcome. It's time for the big finale, and can I tell you, this is such a 50-50 final. Nobody is a favorite here. Both teams have played each other in a 7-match series, in a warm-up game. They know each other's game very well, and both have good balanced squads, and it'll come down now to who plays better cricket today at the MCG. It is Jos Buttler versus Babar Azam, two of the best captains in the tournament, two men who would be desperate to win the title today, both wanting to get into the annals of history. So much at stake, and we will have a T20 World Champion. Today, Ashok Malhotra is here with me as we look ahead to the big final at the MCG. Ashok sir, both teams have been good. They've had their moments in the group stages where one felt that maybe they're not going to be able to make it, or they've had upsets. But here they are, and right now both these teams have everything, in terms of ticking the boxes. England, the way they played against India, and Pakistan, the way they played against New Zealand.
Yeah, definitely so. Both teams must be very, very excited and very, very confident because they've beaten, they won both the semi-finals very, very convincing. So I got no hope. I think we're going to see a good game because if it is a Pakistan bowling, it is against a strong English batting. But with England winning the toss, putting Pakistan in, and if they can contain them, then they can go all the way. But if Pakistan puts some runs on the board, if they go through the power play and put, say, 160, 170 runs on the board, then it might be a tough ask for English because they're too dependent on the top order. The middle order has not fired so far. They're big hitters, but if they get off to a good start, then they can all fire. But if they don't get off to a good start, they tend to struggle. So I think it depends on Pakistan, how many runs they put on the board. And as I said before, it will depend on the power play. First 6 overs, which way it goes.
Okay, let's also talk about the toss now. The toss has been won by England and they have opted to bowl first. They also fancy themselves as a chasing side, sir. And keeping in mind that rain could come into play at any point in this match, the right decision for Jos Buttler to want to chase?
I would say so. If they keep that slip in their pocket about Duckworth and Lewis. You can't let it get away. You can't forget about it because it's part and parcel of the game. So definitely so. But Duckworth Lewis can work in favor of the side, which is bowling second, because the moment a wicket falls, it jumps to a different proportions. So I think it is I would have preferred to probably bat first in a cup game, especially in a pressure game, to put runs on the board and try to put pressure on Pakistan, especially thinking that they are comparatively a weaker batting lineup compared to it. So I would have preferred that, but then, as you said, they are good chasers, the way they chased against England, but it's a different bowling attack, which they'll be facing when they'll be chasing.
That's right. Also, as we know, in Duckworth Lewis, nobody seems to be able to understand how this works. But one thing everybody knows is that it depends on the resources you have, which is wickets at hand. And so if you have more wickets, then your power score comes down substantially. But if you lose wickets, then it jumps up. And also, sir, we saw what happened when they were playing against Ireland, where despite the power score being flashed on the big screen, they couldn't manage to get there, and that was a huge upset for England, so they wouldn't want a repeat of that. But both these teams have looked good, and both of them, I wouldn't say have had contrasting campaigns, because we've seen upsets from both sides. Having said that, with Pakistan, somehow the batting is far more settled than with England, like you were mentioning, completely dependent on their openers. Nobody else seems to have scored runs. Ben Stokes being their third highest run scorer, and he's just got, I think, 54 runs in the 5 matches that he's played. So it's really been Alex Sales and Jos Buttler all along. And today, this will turn out to be incredible, that battle between Pakistan's new ball bowlers and the openers.
See, on paper, England looks very good. But on field, they have, except for Hales and Butler, others have not fired, as you're saying, you're spot on. But the fact is, they say, comes the hour, comes the man, so, something like that. But they have the potentially good striker of the ball. They have got somebody like Ben Stokes, who is a phenomenal all-rounder. They got Brooks, who is a good upcoming guy, and not to forget Liam Livingston, who's again a tremendous batter. So all in all, they have Moeen Ali. We're forgetting. He has not fired yet, but he is the guy who's capable. And they bat very deep. Phil Salt is another one, but they bat very deep, except for Adil Rashid and Chris Jordan to a certain extent. They're 9 batters. Chris Stokes has got a test 100 to his name. So they bat very, very deep. So that is why we talk about their batting abilities. Although a record says, history says in this tournament, they have not fired. The batting unit has not fired except the top order. Either they haven't got the chances or they have not fired. And when you talk about Pakistan, I think Rizwan and Babar Azam not firing helped their middle order. They got an opportunity and they grabbed the opportunity. Be it Iftikhar, be it Mohammad Harris coming in has been like shot in the arm for them. Shan Masood is another guy. And then Shadab came to the party as well. So the middle order seemed to be much better, much settled look, and with the Babar and Rizwan firing, then it is like icing on the cake. But all in all, they are going from strength to strength. They are peaking at the right time. If I talk about Pakistan, losing first 2 games and then winning next 3 games, and now they are in the final. So the rest is history, and it is a repeat of 1992. Exactly the same thing happened there. And then they have got the same opponents, and lo and behold, they are batting first once again, like it happened in 92. It is a repeat of 1992.
Yeah. Now, I'm just going to put quotes of the 2 legends on how they're reading this game, and we'll take that further. First one being from the great Sachin Tendulkar, who's saying that it's momentum with Pakistan, but the advantage is with England at the MCG. And he says, looking at the ground dimensions, it's going to be England. Yes, the momentum is with Pakistan. They are peaking at the right time, and the 1992 similarities are there, but maybe England might get them to play square of the wicket where the boundaries are longer. The straighter boundaries are short, unlike Adelaide, where England exploited the shorter square boundaries against India in the semi-final. I have a feeling up front with the new ball, they will look to swing and later on bowl shorter, forcing them to play square of the wicket. Sir, we've got to give it to England in the way they executed their bowling plans against the Indians. And it was only towards the latter half, really in the death overs, where Hardik Pandya could utilize, some of those deliveries to hitting boundaries square of the wicket. MCG is going to be a huge ground between England and Pakistan. England batters far more suited to this style, and if they've done their homework well in the way Sachin is suggesting, then is this advantage England because of the MCG dimensions?
I beg to differ with Sachin. I know he's god of cricket, what he says goes. But the fact is, I have the feeling that Pakistan has a great bowling attack. When you talk about England, yes, he contained Team India, but Team India was there to be contained. They were contained by every side in this tournament. The first 6 overs, we never scored over 40 in any power. Yeah. So every side literally contained them. So that's nothing new about it. But the fact is, Pakistan has a better bowling attack. Okay, England, if even if they contain them, they might get to 155, 160. But they have enough firepower in the bowling attack. And Melbourne being helpful to medium paces. And because the Pakistan bowling is, revolves around the medium paces. I know they have got Shadab Khan, they got,
Nawaz.
But the fact is, they like the pace and bounce. Whereas Indians were slow medium pacers, which came in very handy for the English batter. When the ball is bouncing and going at a good pace, and as you said, square of the wicket bound are quite big, you can't clear the field, then the short pitch bowling might come in handy. And most of the guys are not great hookers of the ball, they all hook in the air. And the bigger ground normally gives you an opportunity. So I somehow have a gut feeling if Pakistan can put runs on the board, then I see it history repeating itself.
Wow. And you're right about the bowling, sir. If you look at the two bowling attacks, it's Pakistan who've really not conceded a lot of runs. I think Pakistan bowlers have not more often than not conceded beyond 150 in this tournament. 130 has been at an average what they've conceded. That's how good they've been. I was looking at their economy. All of them, I think the highest is 7.74 for Pakistan bowlers, and the others have all been between 6 and 7. So they've really been bowling very well. But let's just, for our viewers, take them through the toss update, with England having won the toss at the G and have decided to bowl first. That's the news from the MCG. England at the toss, Jos Buttler, their captain, saying that we want to bowl first because of how there is a little bit of weather around, which is why they've chosen to bowl. And also, I think something important, he says, is that we start fresh today. We bring confidence from the other day, but we know it counts for nothing today. And that is so important because it'll come down to who plays better cricket today. This is what Jos Buttler has said at the toss. Both teams come into the final in red-hot form, and we're looking forward to a tough challenge. It's a good wicket. It'll stay the same throughout. Babar Azam at the toss has said, we would have also bowled first, but toss is not in our hands, so we try to put runs on the board and put pressure on them. We have good momentum. We lost our first few games and have come back strongly and want to continue that in the final. A win always gives you the confidence with the way the team is playing. We'll give 100%. Yes, history repeats. We will try to win this game and hold the cup. So, as much as people may say that they don't look at that, sir, I think you can expect Pakistan to look at this match as a repeat because so many things are similar. I mean, after 30 years, here they are playing England in the final at the same venue where they won the World Cup. And in the way they've come back, I know that Saqlair Mushtaq got made fun of when he said Kudrat ka Nizam, after they lost to England in that bilateral series, the 7-match series. But how those words have come back, to haunt all those people who made fun of him, because here they are, really because of that Kudrat ka Nizam. And once that they are here, they will be wanting this so desperately.
Yeah, definitely so, Maya. But I would like to see which Pakistan team turns out in NC. But they are a very unpredictable side. On the day, they are unbeatable. On a bad day, you know what happened with Zimbabwe. So that you can say about even England. They lost to Ireland. But I think there was a little bit of miscalculation which cost them the game. But they seem to be a more organized side, a better organized side, better professional side. Where Pakistan has a kind of a natural instinct players.
Yeah.
Be it Rao, be it Shaheen Shah Afridi, Babar Azam, Ridwan, they're all natural players, not gifted players. They all of them are. But if things go wrong, how to bail themselves out? That is the $1 million question. And since England has won the toss, and since both of them wanted to field, that means surely there is some life in cricket. There's got to be some life in cricket. So that might give a little bit of advantage in the power to Team England.
I was looking at Pakistan's bowlers, sir, and it's incredible how none of their bowlers really have had a bad tournament. Even you look at Mohammad Wasim, who's actually, his economy is 6.61. He's taken 7 wickets, he's bowled well. Naseem Shah, he may have taken 3 wickets, but economy of 6. All their bowlers have been on point throughout this tournament, and which is phenomenal to see. And we knew that their bowling was going to be good, but this good where teams haven't been really able to target any of the bowlers, which is what teams look to do today in T20s, where you're looking to target one of your weakest links. Their bowling really does not have a weak link.
Absolutely, and since when they have come back in form, since their batters started in form, they always had the bowling. From day one, they had bowling. Even against India, which we won narrowly, they were phenomenal. except for that one over of Harris Rauf, which turned the game around. And Ridwan has to bowl the last over. So that's a different ball game. But they had India on the rope till the 90th over.
Yeah.
So that shows that they have a phenomenal bowling lineup. But now their batting has started firing.
Yeah.
With Ridwan, Babar, Iftikhar, Shan Masood, and that youngster Mohammad Harris, who is giving them the he's doing what Surya has been doing for Team India. He's a fearless batter. And then not to forget Shahzad Khan, who's a genuine all-rounder. So they have a good all-round team as of now. But as I said before, since whatever I'm hearing from you about the captains, since they both wanted to bowl first, that means there has to be some kind of a moisture, because with this rain, the wicket must be under cover, so there might be a little bit of life for the fast bowlers, which might be handy in the first 6 overs.
Okay, the other thing is, what are the key batters, the matchups that we're looking forward to? Let's put them up then. The first one has to be between England's openers versus Shaheen Shah Afridi. How good has Shaheen Shah Afridi been? It took him a little bit of time coming into the tournament to find his rhythm, but now he's right at the top of his game. And it'll be interesting because these guys haven't faced Shaheen Shah Afridi. He was still recovering in that bilateral series. So in terms of stats, not many, but having said that, right now he's at the top of his game. And Joss Butler and Alex Hales, these two, this team is completely dependent on. That's one big matchup. If Shaheen Shah Afridi can get the openers out, or one of the duo out, then England might be in trouble.
Definitely so. He was very ginger to start. He was very tentative, Shaheen Shah Afridi. But now he's come back into it. If you look at his last 3 games, he's got 3 for 14, 4 for 24, and then 2 for 24 against New Zealand.
Yeah.
And he's not only economical, he's picking up wickets. And he picks up early wickets, picks up wickets at the power play. And if he can pick up, and both the English batters are a bit suspect when the ball comes back in. Beat Alexei, beat Joss Butler. When the ball comes back in, then they'll end up leaving a big bat gap. So they can sneak through, and he's a good bowler, left-hander who can bring the ball back in. And if he can pick up a couple of wickets, I think they will push England's backs against the ball. The early wickets will definitely push backs against the ball. Even if they score 150 runs, they'll still try their hardest. They will come very hard. The bowling will come very hard at English batters. And it is not going to be a cakewalk for a Team England like it happened against India.
The other one is Babar Azam versus Adil Rashid. Now, interestingly, Babar's been dismissed 3 times by Adil Rashid. He scored 77 of 61 deliveries, striking at 126, and Babar is circumspect against leg spinner. In T20 eyes, he's striking much lower at 113 against leg spinners. So that's another one maybe they'll get, because they've done this. One thing we've seen with England is that they've tried a lot of interesting things. They've opened the bowling at times with spinners. They've opened the bowling with Ben Stokes. So they look at these matchups seriously, and they know there is a lot of stuff that has gone around in the back room where they've figured out who should be bowling to whom. And, this is one that can be expected between Adil Rashid and Babar Azam earlier on.
See, a T20 cricket, Neha, is you have to think on your feet. It's like a game of chess. You have to keep thinking. You have to be one step ahead of the others. As you very rightly said, which unlikely the Indian management was not. We are very conservative, very old-fashioned, or maybe too old-fashioned, if I would say. So that is what is making the difference. It makes a Livingston bowl, because there were 2 right-handers bowling, Livingston and Rashid. They finished the quota of 7 overs, for 44 runs. That took the game away. So that is what happens. And as you very rightly said, he tries with Moeen Ali in between. Sometimes he doesn't give him over. So he's always thinking on his feet. And as you said, the match, which guys are good enough, like when Babar will be there, I'm sure after 6 over you will see Adil Rashid coming in.
Yeah.
You know, and checking, because these are big crowds. Babar also likes to clear the field, but he clears the field in Rawalpindi and Lahore, not in MCDs. That is where he should be trying to hit over covers, over a mid-wicket flat, not in the air where it's either hit or miss kind of a thing. So he will have to do a little bit of rethinking. But when you talk about England, I think they have been doing a lot of thinking. They are a very clever unit, and I think that there are a lot of inputs by the coach and the skipper.
Yeah. The other one, sir, if we talk about Pakistan's campaign in this T20 World Cup, there's one man who stands out, along with Shaheen Shah Afridi and along with their middle order, that is Shadab Khan, because of how well he has been playing both the roles, where he's actually done well with the bat, but also with the ball, how he controls those middle overs for Pakistan. That has been such a key in restricting the opposition to a par, below par total. Shadab Khan versus England's middle order, which has already struggled in the tournament, and Moeen Ali, who's also not really gotten going. Shadab Khan actually has a very good record against Moeen Ali, so that'll be another interesting battle.
Yes, definitely so. And English are a bit suspect against this spinners. That is where we missed a trick as well. You know, they are very comfortable against finger spinners. Against wrist spinners, they always struggle. So I think he can be more than Shadab Khan. And you talk about Moeen Ali, because he's left-hander and his googlies probably he can't read. That is why he loses his wicket. But can Butler and Alex Hales read the googlies? That is a $1 million question. First and foremost, they got to, if they go through the power play, then Shadab will be bowling to these two who are big hitters of the ball. You know, a little bit short, and in Australia, ball kind of sits up to be pulled. You know, like it happened with somebody like Akshar Patel. So definitely, there are a lot of matchups. But the fact is, wrist spinner, as the history says, wrist spinners has always troubled English.
But we had a wrist spinner sitting on the bench.
Yeah, he went on a free visa to Australia and came back.
Have you gotten over that loss, sir? Could it be a worse loss? Could any team lose in a worse manner than the way India lost in that semi-final against England?
See, it was an accident waiting to happen. We won the first game, 8 overs 28. You know, to the rarity. We won against Bangladesh because of rain. Otherwise, they were cruising. So South Africa beat us. We beat whom? Netherlands and Zimbabwe. That too, thanks to Surya Kumar Yadav. So the top order refused to fire.
Yeah.
You know, Virat was getting his 50s, sure. He held the innings together. But he's scoring with the strike rate of 100, which is not the one which you need in T20 cricket. If the top three fires with the strike rate of 100, you're asking for trouble.
Yeah. No, and also I think at the end, after the match, in the post-match presentation, when Rohit Sharma was asked as to what was the reason behind it, and he said our bowlers just didn't turn up today. And I don't know.
Yeah, he refused to tell that I didn't turn up in the entire tournament.
Yeah, which to me, I agree that he was extremely upset. And you saw those visuals on TV where he was in tears. So yes, very disappointing. But to not be able to accept that it wasn't really the bowlers, but the batters who were, you know, the way England batted, many runs short, that is where the problem has been with India, where they're not able to accept what the problem's been for them. Okay, sir, there's another quote that I'm being told we should take, which is, you know, if you take one legend, then you've got to take the quote from the other legend, that is Brian Lara. And he has said that Pakistan's strong on individual brilliance, England playing very good structured cricket, which is what we were talking about. And he says, I think Pakistan have a better team in terms of individual players. England are playing very good structured cricket, but I'd like to see the trophy stay in Asia. He's saying that. What do you make of this?
I think he's making good money in Asia. That's all I can say. You know, so that is why I don't see why all of a sudden he's got no love lost to Pakistan. You know, because and English are anyway the favorite whipping boys for Brian Lara. He always scored his 360s and 400s against England. Maybe he doesn't have a soft corner for them. But what he's saying, he has a valid point. Honestly, he has a valid point. Nothing against Pakistan, but they are a very, very good bowling unit. They can upset the side. But for me now, normally, whatever I say, normally it goes the other way around. But I somehow feel it is going to be Pakistan who is going to.
That you're just saying because you don't want Pakistan to win, and you know that whatever you say, the opposite of that happens. You want England to win.
No, not really. No,
okay, so then tell me what's the good score for Pakistan to be able to win this first innings total? What's a good score here?
I think 160 between 160 and 170. That should be good too, especially in Melbourne, MCG, and with the kind of wicket it is, and the kind of huge ground it is.
And who do you think will score maximum runs for Pakistan?
I would somehow go for Rizwan. Rizwan, I somehow was very fond of his batting. And he seems to be a guy who makes sure that Babar never gets under pressure. So I will go for Rizwan. If he gets going, then they're up and running. Pakistan.
Yeah, not bad. Mohammad Rizwan scored 160 runs. His strike rate's little low, but who's making up for that less strike rate? Mohammad Harissa, you were talking about him. He's striking at 161. And to think that he's just come into a tournament because somebody else has gotten injured, because, in the middle of the tournament to come in because Babar Azam got injured. This is such a wonderful story, really, for Pakistan cricket fans and for world cricket fans. A young guy to come in and to be able to bat like that. 89 runs, he scored and played some eye-catching innings in the tournament.
He's a fearless batsman. He's not intimidated by the occasion, by the finals or anything. He's a fearless character who has got a lot of faith in his ability. The pitfalls are just ahead of it. He's just making a name for it. The pitfalls started coming in front of you when you have made a name for yourself. But as of now, he is the flavor of the day. He's the flavor for Pakistan team, and the way he's playing, he might do in the mark which he did in 1992. You never know.
Yeah. Okay, with that, we'll wrap this up. Thank you so much, Ashok sir, for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, so as Ashok sir says, 160, 170 seems like a good score here for Pakistan if they want to win this one. We'll be back at the end of the match, so do join us then. That's it from us. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.